All right, so it's 3rd of December, International Day for Persons with Disability, and the international theme is inclusion, access, and empowerment. But we do have a theme we're working with here in Ghana. I'm joined by Charles Opong, who is a PRO for the Ghana Blind Union of South, also a leader of the Royal Sparrows Band, all blind band. That's amazing. He hasn't got any instruments here today, but hopefully, you know, he can drop a line or two for us, seeing as we're observing this day. Right. So good morning, Charles. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you, madam. It's a pleasure.
Sure. So, you know, each year when we observe this day, what comes to your mind?
Thank you for those who are watching us. In fact, this day is a day that we are privileged to have it, because normally we have been neglected for a long. So every day of this day reminds me that people too are getting in touch of persons with disabilities, because a whole year, at times our problems will not be heard until 3rd December, that people get to know what entails about persons with disabilities.
So you feel neglected?
Oh yeah, for a long, because we know there's perception about persons with disabilities. So people have been neglected. We have been neglected for a very long time in churches, education, employment, even some of our homes. Because most of us, I went to a Cropon school for the blind. In our days, during the 60s, the 70s, majority of the students were picked from the gutters, blah, blah, blah. So they were all neglected. So, no, the blacks have a perception that if you born someone who cannot see, who cannot walk, who cannot hear, who cannot talk, it's a taboo. So that stigma is still in the minds of some of the people in the country.
And how does that make you feel as a person?
Oh, we still want to educate them, because we feel they don't know.
You know, when you mention churches, it occurred to me that even where I go to church, there's no arrangements for a person who couldn't see or hear. And I'm just thinking, how could we do that?
You know, the passage of Act 715, which was passed by the Parliament in 2006, the then government gave itself 10 years for the implementation. But my sister, next year is the deadline, but nothing of that sort has been done. Okay, access to the church, even assuming I'm a Methodist or a Presbyterian, and I can't see, their hymn books, do they have Braille hymn books? The answer is no. It is not yet done. If someone is deaf and dumb, do they have access to churches? The answer is no. We have a few of the churches that can just host the deaf and dumb, but we have those so many churches around, but they don't think of those things.
I'm thinking right now.
You are thinking about it?
Yeah.
Oh, then
we haven't done well.
So the implementation,
the implementation of that
of the law. So the government and then the general public should try to help us to implement the law.
So tell us what we can do.
The whole
as
thing,
individuals, as citizens of Ghana.
Okay, how do we build our roads, our overpass? Is it accessible to persons with disabilities? Our hospitals. If I have a case and I want to go to Papa Police, can I go alone? How is the police station built? And even if I'm sick and I cannot talk, I'm a deaf and dumb person, if I go to the nurse, can I express myself? So we are appealing to the general public and the government to remind persons with disabilities, and then have some processes, like the nurses should be taught of the sign language. And then at times we feel employment. We have been neglected employment too.
You know, some of your colleagues, at least one of them was here yesterday.
Yeah.
And they have a simple message. Nobody's employing them.
Because of the stigma. People think if I employ a person with disability, what can the person do? But we have so many potential within us. When we are being given opportunities, we can do best. I can use my group.
The band?
Yeah, as an example. There was this reality show on TV3, season, celebration, 100 groups. And we were second. And people were saying they use this text message. If not, we will become the first group. So
how's the band doing, by the way? Is it a commercial band?
Yeah, it's a commercial band, and then because of this stigma, we have used the band to create awareness for people to know that disability is not inability. So we normally go to where people are because we went to Winneba, and someone told me, if not of this group, I didn't know even the blind person can sing. You see, so people don't know anything about it.
As if you have no abilities at all.
Right, that's right. So we can, if you go to the universities, we have persons with disabilities with the able people learning the same thing, passing the same examination. But after schooling, you see persons with disabilities on the road begging, whereby the able people are having jobs. So it is the perception that we are pleading to the general public.
But you know about the people who beg?
Yes.
Can't they find little skills, you know, things that they can do with their hands?
Yeah, it is. I've been saying it is the general public and the government who are helping them, because as I was saying, even the graduates, persons with disabilities are not getting job. What about the one who hasn't even been to school? So he will take the beginners. So we are entreating them to learn something, because we have so many potentials. So they have to, because I had a friend who begged to continue his education. He's now at the Winneba School of Education. So some of them, if you build anything for them, they will beg. But we have some too who are begging because of this neglection that we are saying. Yeah, so it is a matter of helping us to get something. Even this 2% of the District Common Fund, who is supposed to help us, it's not coming. At first, you see the blind will be weaving these doormats and then baskets. But now they're seeing people have taken that job. They are doing better designs and then taking it abroad. So if the blind then do that old style doormat, nobody will buy it. At first, to a Cropon, from a Cropon school for the blind, you allow me to get a teaching field to go and then teach. But since they brought this GHS, all those people, they stop employing them. So it is those petty things that the general public and the government is doing that constitute the begging. Because at the end of the day, man have to eat. And if there's no job, the person will go to the street to beg. So we need employment. The little that even your stations here, you can employ deaf and dumb person to become a cleaner. It's a job opportunity. At first, we have these companies at Tema employing those people as packers. They pack their products into boxes, and they were being paid. But now all those jobs are not.
So if I get what you're saying clearly, we should reserve some of the jobs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So even though somebody who can see can equally do it,
yeah, we
should just reserve them so that they can also get some kind of employment.
These are our toll booths. These are our toll booths. They have to give it to our brothers and sisters who are the amputees.
But they can't see the cars.
No, not the blind, but the amputees. Those who can see, we have those who are in crutches. They can the person can sit at the place and be collecting the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you made some of these proposals?
Oh yeah, we have tried a lot, but since in my area, Gansaf, the Kaswa toll booth is within our area. So if we spoke to the DCE there, that job should be given to some of our members there, and they told us the work is the whole employment will come from roads and highways. They employ people for.
So did you follow up there?
Oh, we have been following up. We have been coming out clearly to tell we went to the government to just give that job to our brothers and sisters who are crippled, but it yielded no avail. So we are. That's why this day is a day that we can get a platform as we have been given to us this morning too. Just enlighten the people that we have some people who are less fortunate or persons with disabilities. And my sister, let me tell you that God didn't create specific people, that this group of people should be persons with disabilities. You look at this day in and day out accident on our roads. If someone after accidents, maybe the leg or the hand they will cut it, and then you become a person.
The point is, anybody could find themselves in that position.
So they have to. Even we have been saying, even they have to get about 5 seats automatically. 5 seats at the parliament for persons with disabilities, so that they will be there to talk about us. Because go to parliament.
There's a candidate now.
One person, about 270 something, and one person. It cannot work. And even
the fact is, he's not even there yet.
Yeah,
I mean, he won on his party's ticket.
People have been saying you have been given a ministerial appointment. Where was the person working? Chieftaincy. How many persons with disabilities are chiefs?
What's your point?
So I'm thinking he was supposed to be given like social welfare director, blah blah, a place that he can talk for persons with disabilities,
and he can make an impact, or help change policies or something. Is that what you mean? Direct impact.
That's right.
To persons.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. But,
okay.
But we are
because he's living it, so he can better understand.
But that's why we are saying that the position where he was put it didn't favor us. So we are pleading next time, if anything, he should be given appointment that will favor persons with disabilities, so that we can go to him directly. Because I can't go to chieftaincy office and then tell the minister about education.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I get you.
So about one person, they say majority carries the vote. So if one person is the only person with disability there, it is still the point. It will remain the same. He can talk.
So at least with some of your members in Gas South, you could have encouraged them to go for the party's primaries. I'm sure some of them are NDCs and MPPs and CPPs and things like that.
About this perception that I'm seeing, as I'm sitting here, if I come forward that I'm MPP or I'm NDC, I'll be hated.
Really?
Oh.
It's not a bad thing. There are people who belong to political parties who actively take part in political activities.
The accounts will tell you about. You see, because of the perception, I quite remember there was this argument about football on a bus, and one of the blind students was in the bus, and then he just contributed. One of the parties said, "Oh, you two shut your mouth. If you are talking, then you blind people, person to you are talking." So the people, the able people, they are not allowing us to
be yourself.
They will just pamper you. Go down. You are like blah 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 blah. You shouldn't have to.
But that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. So a day like this, we take the opportunity to let them know that we are capable in doing so many things. Because, excuse me, I'm a family man. As I'm capable in taking care of my wife and my children, then someone is able person, but he is irresponsible. So we can do everything by God's grace. So that the able people should allow. We are about 10% of the population. So the 90 should help us, so that we too can help the planning of the nation.
How many of you, Gas South, the blind union, how many of you form this union?
In all, we are about 615 persons with disability. The blind, the physically challenged, the deaf and dumb, the albinos. Yeah, they're the 4 groups.
Why do we put albinos in this category
that's
of
what
persons?
they said, and they normally at times have an eye problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why.
So you say you're about 600?
600.
600.
600. And I assume 600, and at the end of the day, a quarter, 1,005, which is old currency, 50 million, will come as 2% of the common fund. You share 15,005 among 650 people. So we need something that can.
What's your own story? I mean, how were you born blind?
Yeah, I was born blind, and then I was neglected. My father told my mother, in their home and in their town, they don't born sight people. So they have to bring.
What was the so? How did it happen? Did your mother give you any explanations? Maybe doctors said something to her.
When I was born, then every child at least a day to 1 week you have to open your eyes. But I was not open. When they put they don't see anything. Okay. So that they got to know that I have an eye problem. So in fact, my mother, because of my problem, she left our town and then traveled for so many years. She left you? Yes. And your father also left? Yeah. So it was my grandmother who was taking care of me till she died, and then she gave me to my uncle, the only brother, the only man among my mothers. So he took me to a Ekropon school for the blind. To go to school? Yeah, in 1976. But it took them some years before they got to know that we too can be trained. So I've been following in the people to classroom. When I go, I will sit, and then the teacher will be writing on the blackboard, and then I have to chew everything into my head. Examination time, after they are finished writing, the teacher will call me, Mass, blah, blah, then I'll talk, I'll then go to English. Till a blind man was posted as a craft instructor to the town. That they got to know that we too have a place that we can learn. So, first, so which town is this again? In the eastern region, near Nkoko, Nyueso. Okay. So I wept for 11 years. I've been always crying. If they are running here and then, I can't do that. Then I have to go to the room and then start weeping. So the day that I was taken to a Ekropon school for the blind. So when I went there, they took me there in the afternoon. About 6 p.m., a bell was rang, and then we went to a bigger hall. I had so many people. So I asked the one who took me there, so are all these people blind people? They said yes. Since then, you felt comfortable. I told myself then it is a whole city. It is not you alone. So since then I stopped crying. So I started Ekropon 1976. Wow. Do you still think about your mother, your father? Oh, my about 30 years. So after I formed this group, then I asked of her. Then you formed the band? Yeah, I formed the group. Okay. The Royal Sparrows Band. So I have to chase her. He was at Yeji. So I brought her back to my hometown, then settled her. So she is now at my hometown. You didn't ask her questions? I was thinking he didn't know what to do. And
but you were a child, so she shouldn't have left you.
You know, there's people. But I'm fortunate she didn't kill me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a point too.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. So nowadays, if I go to my hometown, and people have been saying, "Hey, your husband is in. Your husband is in," because those who we are 10, I'm the only blind person, but I'm now feeding her, helping her in everything that he does.
Amazing. How about your father?
Oh, my father is dead.
Yeah, but were you able to build any kind of relationship with him?
The only relationship I built is the day he died. I went to the hometown to just help them to bury him.
Wow.
So.
But you have your own family. I mean, you have your nuclear family. You have a wife. How many children do you have?
I have 3.
Okay. How old is the youngest?
13. My
13.
first
Wow.
girl is in the nursing training.
Wow.
At Teshi. Even they are on vacation, so he's now at Akawi Hospital.
Okay.
During their vacation distance. And the second is at Benkum Senior High, Form 2. And the boy is at NG, Class 6.
Congratulations. How does it make you feel? I mean, you have 3.
And people were saying, my mother was saying, someone told her because I was born blind, or maybe my children too, I'm going to born the same thing. But I told him, Sofiako, it cannot happen. By God's grace, they can all see. But my wife too is a seeing person.
How did you meet her?
Oh, ladies like music. So I met her during one of our performances.
Okay.
She was working at a place that we have been going there after we have performed. We go there to eat.
Okay.
So I told her straight that that's the case.
But you know what is fascinating? You couldn't see her. So how did you know she was beautiful? You liked her?
If you cannot see, you have to get a friend and a brother.
Okay. Someone
that cannot take this paper and tell you this not paper but this a cloth. Someone that if he's choosing something to you, it will be his or her favorite.
Okay.
So the person should ask you, which type do you like? Do you like slim? Do you like obolo? Do you like black? Or do you like red? So when the thing is being described to you and it's your favorite. So it was my friend that I told him, and then he described her to me, and I said, "Oh, that's my life. That's what I need."
You like? That's your life.
That's my life. So I spoke to her, and then.
And she also liked you.
Yeah. At first, there was this problem. The mother, and then they were saying blah blah. There are so many, and at the hometown too, she was not doing any bad thing. She has been just staying once. So they were thinking she have to go and marry some Takuma B. So if you go to Accra and then you didn't get any man to marry like this blind man. So I have to convince them and tell them I'm capable. I can do the night, I can do the day. So they shouldn't mind. So now they understood me.
Yeah.
Even any time I've been going there. So it is time also. Every blind person, you should know how to. People don't understand us. So if you cannot express yourself, at times people will not understand you.
Yeah,
so always you should let them know it is not as you are thinking, but it is in the other direction.
So you kind of have an extra job to do in convincing people, try and get them to understand.
As the PR, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that. Yeah.
As the PR, because
Ugun Credro.
But that's the problem. But some too, despite what you do, they will hate you. They will not like you. Because I quite remember we were told, even in some Asante Kings, that not see blind people, blah, blah, blah. But last year, no Reverend Osu Ansa, Dr. Osu Ansa. Okay, he is the founder of the group.
Oh, of your band?
Yes.
Okay.
So he took us to Kumasi for a funeral. And it was a Shantini funeral. And then we performed.
Wow.
So the perception that blah, 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 it's no more there. We are now in the global world. So people should not think of, as they were thinking the Gold Coast, it is still, no. Nowadays, if you go to Winneba, you will meet persons with disabilities there. If you go to University of Ghana, you meet them there. If you go to Kevash, you meet them there. Even my group, we have about 8 of them who are still in the universities.
Oh, 8 members of the band who are in the university.
Yeah.
So how do you get gigs? I mean, how do people call you to come and perform?
At times, it is hard, but we normally go to them. If you don't get, we go to them.
Okay.
So we normally perform in churches in their programs. Because I quite remember we went to a certain funeral. They didn't give us food because the one who came for the band, he was accused. That's so when we send you to go to Accra for a band, we didn't see any band like these blind people. We are not going to feed them, so you feed them. So we were fed by the man that night.
Who hired you?
So we have to put all our effort. But after the performance, they got to know that we can do something. So the person, most of the people are ignorant about us. So when they see you before, they know what it is within you. Given the competition that I was talking of, when we started, people were not understanding us till they see that, hey, these people too, they can come over, because the rules is the words, the tones, the time, the instrumentation, and we're capable in doing all those things. Because you don't use your eyes to play the guitar, you don't use your eyes to play the keyboard. It is the mind. So if the person is not, if the person is also sound-minded, as the Constitution speaks, sound-minded, but every person with disability is sound-minded.
So, but how do you connect with your audience?
When you lose one sense of the senses, we have been saying the other senses that work effectively. So our hearing, if you cannot see, you can hear. You can hear, and then your hearing is different from as you are sitting here, and then when you are smelling too. Because as I'm sitting here, as we are conversing, if a song is playing at my back, I can learn the song at the same time conversing with you.
Really?
Whereby you cannot hear, and you too, without seeing the thing, you know, without seeing it with your naked eye, it means you haven't seen it. But me, without seeing it, if someone describe it to me, or hold it, I'll feel it, and then know what the person is.
So why don't you describe to me, what do you see the world? How do you see it, and how would you describe it?
I see, as I was born like this, I see the world as a normal place. Because one, at first, these pastors were putting fears in us, always, I will open your eyes for you, healing, blah, 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 blah. So if you concentrate on that, you cannot cope with the world. But in my position, I got to know that, in fact, someone song, watch out, assuming I came as a Sakula man, can I go to Pastor and then tell Pastor, between me and Bumpa, me pampa mufu. That's what I came. So I have to change the word with my destiny, my disability. So you have to always forge ahead, because if you quite remember, John chapter 9, the first 3 verses, Jesus was with the disciples, and then they went and saw this small boy, blind person, sitting beside the road, and the disciples asked him, say, was it the fault of the mother or the father that let this boy become blind? Jesus told them, no. It has nothing to do with the parent, but he is blind so that the power of God must be shown at work in him. Which means the power of God is one. You see a blind person being a minister of the state. It's the power of God. That is showing
something that people couldn't imagine.
That's right.
Could happen.
That's right. And then we cannot all stand on our feet, have two eyes before Jesus Christ will come. We will be having the blind, the physically challenged, the deaf and dumb, the albinos among the society. So it is up to the society to let those people to change the world, live a better way as they too are living by understanding them. If you are building, you have to know that. So assuming I came with this thing, a wheelchair. You people, I'll mark you 0.
I know. Don't worry. But what theme are we working with in Ghana for the celebrations? Because I gave the international theme.
Making Ghana's national development. Making Ghana's national development planning inclusive and
I want this experience because he's reading it and it's live.
Yeah.
So can we start from the beginning?
Making Ghana's my secretary, making Ghana's national development planning inclusive and accessible to persons with disabilities.
Okay.
So do we include persons with disabilities in our planning? The answer is no.
It's no. It's a big no.
And you
even when we do, we don't implement that.
That's right.
So yeah.
And you, the media, you have to be the mouthpiece of persons with disability, but you don't do. Your morning show every day, you go and call our politicians who have been eating our money. But someone will say eating, chopping, smelling our money. But instead of you to add at least innocent person like person with disability to come and then at the end of the day share his or her ideas about what goes on in there. You call NDC and NPP and they will be quarreling.
We'll be calling you.
Oh.
We'll be calling you. Yesterday I spent I think not 45, I think 1 hour with,
God bless you.
With Isaac, who is blind, and I love the experience.
But not.
And I'm enjoying you right now.
Not only today. Today is on the 3rd, and on the 3rd.
So we're going to factor you into our plans. That's what I mean.
Thank you. I know multimedia. You can do it if you mean to do. You can do it.
And we mean to do it. So we will.
The planning, even it shouldn't start from here. Even our towns, the smaller towns, do the assembly member when he calls meeting? Do the assembly member ask of how many persons with disability do I have within my community, and this gutter that this bridge that we are constructing, do they have any mind? Or the school that we are building? So it should start from somewhere. It shouldn't start from Accra here. It should start from our communities, because every person start from the family before it comes to the church and then the nation. So we beg of you to help us to share our minds to all that you people do. If someone is in a church, one of my friends told me he was vying for an elder in the church. They didn't give the to
because
him.
He's blind.
Because of that.
Oh.
But what is entailed for someone to become an elder? Spiritual. If you are spiritually built, you can do. You can perform as an elder, but because of the disability, so they shouldn't look at our disability, but what we are capable in doing. That the abilities among us should be considered, so that we can be given opportunities.
Sure.
And our marriage too. We will let people know that, as I've told you, we are capable in doing everything. So when someone, what pains me is you go for the lady, and the lady will she will understand everything. But when she goes to the family, that I've got my lover. Immediately they got to know that, hey, oh, then the mother will start crying. They shouldn't do that.
Sure.
Because we too, we are there.
Yeah. So any special activity today, at least for the people of Gas South?
Yeah, today is awareness creation, and then tomorrow it will be the same thing, but Saturday we'll go to Bubuashi SDA to talk to them, and then on Sunday is Sunday 6 p.m. we are having this fashion designers want to do a free charity fashion show for the Royal Sparrows, because we need an accommodation, so they've planned to
want to raise funds
for us. So it will be at Inshiraba Kwadwo City at Spinters Road.
Okay.
Spinters Road.
That's on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
So people should come there, and then they will see the Royal Sparrows performing. When you come, you buy some of their product and all that they will get will be given to the Royal Sparrows.
Okay.
Even the numbers, the money, our bank account, and then our mobile money numbers are being used. They are not taking anything.
Oh, okay. So everything is coming directly
to you.
Yeah,
it's coming direct, because we pay for the school fees of our members who are in school. We are in the same place. We have a whole house. And then,
so you're living together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then there's this new high tension. So the house is now under high tension. So we need a new place to move to.
Okay.
So we are appealing to people to come.
Sure.
On Sunday at Inshiraba Kwadwo City.
Okay.
To come and help.
Okay. So, Mr. Pong, do you sing?
I play drums, I play guitar, I play everything, and I sing too. But you want me to sing? But you shouldn't have given me water. You should give me a drink.
Anything for you after your singing. But one more thing before we wrap up. I've been talking to you for a while now. Can you describe me?
No, unless I touch you.
Oh, so I can touch you, right?
Okay. Oh, I see you as a slim lady. That's right. Oh. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Why are you saying, oh, thank you?
Oh, but it's not because someone have taken the lead.
How do you know?
Oh, but in fact, I'm a slim person, and when I was a kid, I told my friend that Obulubo is what I hate. So, slim.
Thank you for coming.
Slim things are my favorite. Okay. God bless you.
God bless you too, but please sing for me before you leave.
Jino meihu Ghana man ye wara uzo. Jino meihu menka de umfahu. Jino meihu Ghana man ye wara uzo. Jino meihu menka de umfahu. Moma ye nyinam yemfa kuruye. Moma ye nyinam yemfa kuruye. Moma ye nyinam yemfa kuruye.
Thank you. So that's my guest, Charles Opon, PRO, Ghana Blind Union of Gas South, leader of the Royal Sparrows Band, which is an all-blind band. It's been amazing, fantastic. It's a beautiful day. Please think about persons with disabilities. Let us all help. It shouldn't be only 3rd of December. Can we think about it every day? That will be good. Stay with us. Roland Walker is up next. We'll talk. Apologies again. We couldn't read your messages or access them, but when we do, we're going to share it, definitely.